are back again to share with you a little bit about play and adventure, the 6th date of our 8 dates.
We love playing.
We certainly do.
Tickle.
We'd like to start out with a quote from Saint Irenaeus that says, "The glory of God is a human being fully alive."
And we're going to see how play helps us become fully alive.
From the book, we read, play isn't just about being with each other, it's about connecting with each other. When we play together as a couple, we're developing our trust and our intimacy.
So today, our focus is going to, you're being invited to consider how to restore, reclaim, and resurrect play in your relationship. So God has wired us as multifaceted human beings to work and to play. Play really should be considered as a way of life. It helps connect us better. It shapes our brain, fosters empathy, helps navigate social issues. It's the core of creativity. Science has told us that play has been shown to release endorphins, improve brain functionality. It stimulates feeling energetic, right? Improves memory, and it affects the cerebral cortex in a very positive way. So we're designed to play for a lifetime, not just as kids.
And while we're talking about play, we also need to consider how important rest is to the rhythm of life as well. We read in Leviticus about the importance of the Sabbath because he knew that we needed downtime.
To
rest and to have rest from the toils of the week. He also calls the people to a sabbatical every 7 years.
I like that.
Of the entire year of Jubilee, after 7 sets of 7 years. So God wants us to take time to rest and to play.
Have you ever thought about that? Again, we're designed to play. Kids didn't go to a class, they didn't read a manual, they didn't research it or go on Google. It was naturally in their bones. And I've done this informal research where I've asked 4 to 5-year-olds if you can sing, if you can run fast, if you can draw. Everyone said, I can do those things. I asked the same kids 3 or 4 years later, so the 4-year-olds, when they're 7, can you draw? And they look around, and the person that said I can draw when they were 4 years old, they said, I can't draw, Jimmy can draw. So they stopped drawing. Can you sing? I knew how to sing when I was a 4-year-old, but Patty, she's really got a good voice and I can't sing, so what happens? I stop singing. The same thing happens with you and me when we think about play. Somehow something gets us to stop playing.
And it's interesting because when we first started dating,
right,
all we did was play and
adventure. Yeah.
Right? Going to new places.
It came naturally.
Right?
Yeah.
And we always brought that spirit. But then we get married and then we have kids and things get tied up. And we get tied up to one really important thing, but also really difficult thing. It's our to-do list. And today we're going to talk to you about 3 lists. The first one is our to-do list. Now, what's on our to-do list? All the things,
They're important, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Getting the chores done, making sure your kids are at soccer, making sure that we're back and forth, making sure our work life is in order.
And when you look at a to-do list of financial planning,
right,
of, are we going to get a house, and all those things that take up our time, at least we think it does.
And we sometimes forget the importance of play in that.
So to-do list really takes over your life. It can.
Sometimes balancing our work and play is difficult. And so now we want to show you an actual commercial that illustrates just that. Why we work so hard.
Why do we work so hard? For what? For this? For stuff? Other countries, they work, they stroll home, they stop by the cafe, they take August off. Off. Why aren't you like that? Why aren't we like that? Because we're crazy, driven, hard-working believers, that's why. Those other countries think we're nuts. Whatever. Were the Wright brothers insane? Bill Gates, Les Paul, Ali. Were we nuts when we pointed to the moon? That's right. We went up there, and you know what we got? Bored. So we left. Got a car up there, left the keys in it. Do you know why? Because we're the only ones going back up there, that's why. But I digress. It's pretty simple. You work hard, you create your own luck, and you gotta believe anything is possible. As for all the stuff, that's the upside of only taking 2 weeks off in August. N'est-ce pas?
Pretty amazing, right? So often our lives are dictated by our to-do list. So what we want you to think about is taking your to-do list, putting it aside, and think about this list. What is on your to-be list?
You ever thought about that, a to-be list? That's
To-
so important.
To be. What is it that God's calling us to be, and what are we calling one another to be in our relationships?
And when I think about a to-be list, two things come to mind. Jesus says that you are the light of the world. So you're asked to be light, to reflect his love. Also, St. Paul says, imitate me as I imitate Christ, to be like Christ, to have the mind of Christ. We're called to be that way, that kind of person, to live from the inside out. Oh,
And also the fruits of the Spirit. What are those fruits of the Spirit that we should be living out? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, self-control. And one word that sticks out to me in the fruits of the Spirit when we're talking about play and adventure is the word joy, chara, right? And that is such a powerful word. How can I live with more joy? When I go for a walk, when I go on a vacation, when I'm playing with my family or when I'm playing with my spouse, how can we reflect joy? Interestingly enough, our kids wanted a trampoline when they were little. We were a little bit opposed to this, right? We were a little opposed to the trampoline, all the dangers, everything. We watched our kids in the backyard play and play and play on that trampoline. Jump and jump and jump. And then what happens when they were tired?
They would stop.
They would stop.
You know what's really weird? The play engaged and invited a conversation to build connection. Unbelievable. They would have those conversations that brought them to closer together. So play engages in that kind of connection opportunity.
Absolutely. So again, what is on your to-be list? I want to be like my kids who were playing hard, but then also took time to stop and connect and reconnect. So what's on our to-be list? And then what's the third list?
Thing is we need to have a playlist. Do you have a playlist? A playlist. The playlist we're talking about is a list that you're going to create today with a lot of love and with commitment and a decision that you're going to commit to making a playlist. So if you don't have play in your life, you're going to breathe it, because that's also the very oxygen that's going to really invigorate your family and your life.
And in the book, there's all sorts of great ideas that talk about what you can do and what might engage. One of the things that we do that we love to engage in is we play this game of cards called Chichoka. And I have put the rules and how to play it on your handout.
I didn't really like playing it at first. But
but you stuck with it.
And something about that really slows us down, and really we connect in a beautiful way. And
believe it or not, if your marriage is suffering and you're really having a tough time connecting, sometimes a game of cards can be a game changer.
It opens up space to really just be in the moment in a beautiful way. And usually when people are in the moment, beautiful things happen. So playlist. Make a playlist, and remember that you have to make a decision. You can sit on your couch, you can be on your phone, you can take 5 minutes to get off the couch and connect in some simple way. But here's the deal. Brian Sutton Smith said the opposite of play is not work. The opposite of play is depression. Look at when you're depressed, when I'm depressed, we can't play. So when we invite that, it just opens up a space for life, right? And one last thing to conclude with, George Bernard Shaw says, we don't stop playing because we grow old. He says we grow old because we stop playing. So let's find a way to have healthy, beautiful play in our life, adventure that's simple, that's invigorating, and that we can make a decision today that we will play and we will commit to connect in that beautiful way.
What is our to-be list? What is our playlist? And how are we going to incorporate that in our relationships? Bringing joy and connectivity intentionally to our relationship.
Some movies.
What's going on there?
Oh my gosh, we're gonna have
Honey, all over the place. Look at all that.
These are babies right here.
Woohoo! outside and having some adventurous fun brings you closer in connection with each other.
Sometimes just taking a walk outside and just sitting by a bench.
Doesn't have to be far from home either.
You know what? But it takes a commitment. The first date we went on is trust and commitment. Let's commit to deciding to be with one another, hanging out on a bench, either sitting 5 minutes, 2 minutes. It doesn't take much time just to connect.
Not too long ago, I was dancing for dollars. No, it's real real if I let you be my mama. You don't want a girl like me, I'm too crazy. Every other girl you need. So who you gonna call Cardi?
Who you gonna call? Daddy? Huh? Baby, do it. Stop, go, stop, yeah. Watch your shorts. Cat, dog, bo.
We decided to go actually play after that talk. So here we are.
So we're at the beach, and it took one thing. It took a bid for connection.
And I accepted my wife's bid. She said, would you like to go for a walk? So I said, I'd love to. And really pay attention to when you don't accept the bid, you reject the bid, you turn away from the bid, and make it a point to accept those bids.
And be intentional about your play.
Decide.
Enjoy.
You're the only one I ever wanna hold. You're the only one who knows how to speak to my soul. Till the stars fall out of the sky and the rivers, they all run dry. Baby, you're my only one. Till the silver that runs through our hair, don't you know that I'll always be there? Baby, I swear, till my days on this earth are done. You're the only one. With every heartbeat in my chest, I would try to bring happiness, be a strength.